Today is Wednesday, Parashat Tazria. Most of the parasha of this week deals with the subject of tzarat, leprosy. A person would get some type of discoloration or skin disease that actually is representative as a symptom of certain types of behavior, which is connected to arrogance and most importantly to lashon hara, to evil speech. But the pasuk that deals with the person who has tzarat is brought to the Cohen for the Cohen to diagnose if it is tzarat and to start the process of getting him purified from that tzarat. The pasuk says, "Vehuva el Cohen," and the person is brought to the Cohen. It doesn't say he comes to the Cohen, but rather he is brought to the Cohen. And Ibn Ezra explained that he's brought even against his will, so to speak. In other words, a person himself could look at the discoloration and think nothing of it. He could just decide to disregard it or to be sort of like oblivious to it. Many people sometimes are in denial of a certain situation. And rather than facing it and going to the Cohen to be inspected and see what it is, a person might not make that step. So that's why the pasuk says, "Vehuva el Kohen." His relatives, his friends notice and say, "You know what? You got an issue here that you got to take care of," and they bring him to the Kohen. But even though today we no longer have this tzara'at because we're not on a level to be awakened by this tzara'at situation to be brought to a Kohen, still we have today people who are in denial of their situation, of their condition. It could be people who have addictions. It could be people who have an issue with anger management. It could be people who have issues with certain types of negative behavior or even a medical condition that they could try to be in denial of or reluctant to go and seek proper medical advice or proper counseling. So people around that person have somewhat of an obligation to bring the person to proper care, to proper counseling, to proper medical advice, so that the pasuk by saying "Vehuva el Kohen," that he's brought to the Kohen, the person who has tzarat, indicates that concept of the people around that person, his friends, his family, people who have noticed something that needs to be dealt with, even if the person is not fully cognizant of the fact that he should deal with it. People around him would do an act of kindness by leading the person to the Kohen in the case of tzarat, or in terms of, in our day and age, in terms of addictions. Sometimes people have addictions that they just don't realize their addictions, or they don't realize their repeated wrong behavior. And people around them can help that person to get on the right path. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.